Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. I have the tarot deck we will be using already shuffled, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. The last thing is to please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Scorpio, in your recent past, you have embraced uncertainty with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this is either about something falling apart or things just not coming together. And this, in your recent past, I feel like you were dealing with a lot of uncertainty. A lot of wondering, am I ever going to get there? Am I going to be okay? Is this situation, going to work itself out? Whatever the case might be. And I feel like that period you're still in it. I still feel like you are dealing with, what was that? Oh yeah, okay. I feel like you are dealing with uncertainty still in your current energy, because in your current energy you have process your feelings with the Star card. So these are two cards of healing. We all have to process our emotions. If we don't, they're going to come out in other ways. So I feel like you're in this phase right now of working through kind of the uncomfortable emotions associated with being in uncertainty and being in the unknown. But this period is actually very, very purposeful, and whether or not you realize it, is actually leading you to better. So I feel like if you're starting to lose hope, or if you're feeling discouraged, or if you're wondering if all of your efforts are in vain, I do not feel like that is the case, because then in your immediate future you have changes with the Four of Pentacles. That Four of Pentacles being stability, a foundation. I feel like that's what you're missing. That's kind of what you're looking for in the uncertainty, is just like this stability, this kind of like sure thing in your life, like a foundation, I guess, something you could always fall back on. And I feel like changes are kind of, you're heading towards changes to lead you toward that. Now, the overall theme of the reading is embrace the flow of life. To me, this is absolutely a trust the process kind of card. So I feel like, and that's what I feel like with your kind of where you're at right now, is you are in the middle of a journey. Obviously, you're dealing with uncertainty. Things either fell apart, or, you haven't received what it is that you ultimately want and desire, and you're starting to lose hope. And I feel like this period is kind of working through those feelings so that you can ultimately, the changes feel certain. Like, these changes, I feel like, are absolutely going to happen. When and how and what they look like, I don't know. And honestly, I don't feel like you're supposed to know either, because that would completely defeat the purpose of embracing uncertainty. So I feel like right now you're kind of supposed to feel a little lost and overwhelmed, because this is where you're really putting, you really have the opportunity to put your faith in the universe and say, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know that things are going to work out for me in the end. Kind of rhymed. All right, recent past for Scorpio. Embrace uncertainty with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Recent past for Scorpio, please embrace uncertainty with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Recent past for Scorpio, please. One more. Recent past for Scorpio, please. Embrace uncertainty with Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this is definitely like rug ripped out from underneath you, dealing with instability. Like that Four of Pentacles really flips itself on its head in your immediate future. Obviously, you haven't experienced that yet. I feel like this is just like things freaking fell apart, or you were trying to make positive changes and it just felt like things were not working out. In your recent past. But I feel like this is good. Like, this is a good message. You might be like, yeah, I already know I'm dealing with instability. I live with it every single day. But I feel like kind of like helping you recognize or see that there really is kind of a purpose for this period of your life. Everything in our life is here to teach us something, and whether that's about patience or faith or effort, hard work, whatever the case might be. Recent, past, those are just like pretty basic lessons, but examples. All right, recent, past for Scorpio. Embrace uncertainty with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. This is for Scorpio's recent, past. The Knight of Cups. Page of Swords in reverse. The Two of Wands. This doesn't feel like you're there yet, but that's... And then the Devil. Okay. I feel like this recent past energy, and maybe you're still kind of dealing with, like, this situation has you a little bit more emotional than usual. Like, it's really affecting you emotionally. Like, it feels like on top of the uncertainty and what you're struggling with, it's like for some reason, like, getting to you more. Like, maybe you're, like, if it's a breakup, like, you've been through breakups before, but for some reason this one is just really hitting you hard. Or, yeah, I don't know, whatever the case might be. It just feels like it's something like, maybe you've been in this kind of uncertainty before, but for some reason this time it's like it's hitting different. And with the Page of Swords in reverse, that card to me, in this context, is kind of representing like losing a little bit of your excitement about like the future. Like, to you, I feel like because this happened, you're now struggling to think not just positively, but like to be excited or want to invest in your future. Like, I don't know if you feel like you've lost your future. It feels like you lost like things will never get as good as that. Like, that's what you feel like. Or like you're like, if this doesn't work out, like, I'm never going to be happy. Or I don't know. It's just like, because things are or have been the way that they are, it feels like you're kind of, I don't know, you've lost some of your almost, and this sounds really intense, and it doesn't have to be this tense, but almost like you've lost a little bit of your meaning for life, like lost a little bit of your purpose through this. And I feel like, that's probably why it's hitting a little bit different, is maybe you really are attaching this outcome, or did attach this outcome to like your purpose or your ability to be like happy, secure, healthy, whatever the case might be, and not necessarily like you like that was a wrong thing to do. I just feel like this, I don't know, because all this is happening to get you into alignment with the Two of Wands. It feels like everything is trying to get you to where you're trying to go. So I actually don't feel like things fell apart in the way that, or like they had to fall apart to fall back together kind of energy. That's why you have embraced the flow of life. And life really is a flow, right? Like, there's periods of highs, there's periods of lows, there are periods of like kind of neutrality. Neutrality, yeah, that's a word. For some reason that sounded really weird coming out of my mouth. And I feel like you're kind of in one of those lows right now. But everything is temporary. You're never stuck in a period of your life forever. Loss can always be replaced. Happiness can always return. Things can always get better. All right, recent past for Scorpio. Recent past for Scorpio, please. One more. This is for Scorpio's recent past. Yeah, but something kind of hit a little different, for sure. Oh, gosh. The Nine of Wands with the Ten of Swords. The Four of Swords. Six of Swords. Okay. I feel like you felt a little betrayed by the universe, or just a little betrayed in general. The Nine of Wands is like coming to the end of a cycle, like the obstacle before you close the cycle. And the closer you get to the end of a cycle, harder the cycle is, the more challenging it is, the more painful it is. And I feel like you've been in this energy for a while. Like, this feels like your recent past, but I also kind of feel like I'm reading your present energy too. Like, this doesn't, like, it happened in your recent past, but I feel like it is like you're still in this energy, and maybe you feel like you're never gonna get out of it. But yeah, some pretty painful stuff here. But, you know, the Ten of Swords is not always a negative card. Like, yes, it is a painful experience and a painful energy, but it can also be like the ending to intense cycles, and it can lead you to the Ace of Swords, you know, clarity and new beginnings and fresh starts and things like that. So I feel like that's kind of the way that you're needing to kind of look at what you're going through right now. Now you have processed your feelings with the Star. So let's jump in here to your current energy. This is Scorpio's current energy, clarifying process your feelings with the Star. Current energy for Scorpio. Current energy for Scorpio, please. This is for Scorpio's current energy. The Six of Cups. The Devil in reverse with the Moon. Okay, yeah. So there is definitely this energy of, because things didn't work out that way, you now fear you're never going to be okay or happy or safe, or whatever the case is. And I get that. I super get that. But you also are needing to recognize that there's just an attachment. There's an attachment to this. I feel like there's this feeling of like, things will never get as good as that, or as good as that could have been, or like if things don't play out this specific way, then it's only going to be worst case scenarios. Like, I feel like it's like, I don't know, there's such a negative expectation about any other outcome than the one that you wanted. And that can indicate a lack of faith in the universe, because what is meant for us will never, ever pass us. Again, there's always an opportunity for love to return, for abundance to return, for light to return. And I feel like you're starting to see the light. Like, that's what it feels like. Like, you're starting to kind of like, there's like flickers of joy and of positivity and of, you know, good feeling potential things, like hope. There's kind of these flickers of hope that I feel like you're experiencing right now, actually. And I got that from the Star card, because it feels like you're kind of experiencing, like, you're still processing through your feelings, but I feel like you're kind of seeing like flickers of light, flickers and hope. Hold on to that. Hold on to that energy. Try to find those glimmers as much as you can, because I do feel like you're very much in fear. You're kind of in this darkness kind of energy. Now, not like, I'm not saying everything in your life is bad right now, but in particular, in association, you know, the unknown is freaking scary. Uncertainty is a really scary place to be, but the hard freaking truth is that uncertainty is inevitable, and there is nothing that we can do in this life that can guarantee anything. And we have to learn to embrace that uncertainty with faith and saying, I don't know how, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know that the universe has my back, and I know I'm being supported, and I know I'm going to get there. I know I'm going to be able to be happier and healthier and whatever the case might be. So I feel like there's kind of this need to recognize that your past served a purpose in your life, is kind of still serving a purpose in your life in terms of your healing, but it's not, what has happened in your past is absolutely no indication of what is possible for you in your future. But that's such a tricky, you know, thing for us humans to grasp, because so many of us have a tendency to, because this is the way we're wired, we're going to expect what it is that we've experienced. But our experience is such a small freaking little tiny percentage of what is actually possible for us. And so we never want to limit ourselves to saying, like, you know, since things didn't go this way, they're never going to be good. Remember to embrace the flow of life. Also, I have a dog hair on my nose, and it's driving me crazy. Okay. Current energy for Scorpio. Process your feelings with the star, please. Current energy for Scorpio. Current energy for Scorpio, please. The Hangman. The universe is kind of asking you to let go a little bit. And that's the best way to kind of process where you're at. Obviously you want to be where these changes are. You want to be back in stability. You want to have, because that's the thing is there will be always things that are uncertain, but sometimes we're so deep in the unknown that it feels like there's absolutely nothing that we can cling to. Now, those periods are really challenging, but they're also really, really, purposeful. They really serve a purpose when it comes to learning to build faith, learning to understand yourself in a deeper way. And I feel like right now you're kind of needing to surrender to where you're at right now. And I feel like that is not what you want to hear, but I want you to bear with me, because the more that we try to resist where we're at by forcing certain changes or thinking that, always waiting for the changes to happen, the more that we're going to put ourselves through, oh my goodness, the more we're going to put ourselves through pain and misery and suffering because we're waiting for things to change. And then it's like when they don't change, then we just get right back to just oh, my life sucks and everything's horrible. The more that we can surrender to where we're at and understand that we're exactly where we're supposed to be in this moment is temporary. Everything you're feeling is temporary. Every emotion that passes through you is temporary. You literally just have to surrender to where you're at with faith that things are going to get better, because I absolutely do feel like things are going to get better for you. I don't know if you do, and you probably don't want to believe me when I say that, because I know that sometimes we get afraid to get excited, to get our hopes up. But I feel like right now it feels like there is a need for hermit mode. Now, I don't know if you've been in hermit mode or if this is kind of like a sign to go into hermit mode. Now, when I talk about hermit mode, I don't mean yes, it's spending time alone, but it's spending time alone without distraction. It's spending time alone sitting in your feelings, processing them through journaling or meditation or, breath work, or just doing things. But really, it's just kind of like spending time in stillness. I feel like that's what you really need right now, because I feel like that can help you. I mean, that's how we heal. We sit in it. We sit with our feelings. You have to feel it to heal it. You have to experience it in order to release it. Even if you can have faith that things are going to get better, you're going to feel sad and afraid. And if you don't handle those feelings, they're going to come back to bite you in the booty later on. All right. Current energy for Scorpio. So surrender to where you're at, understanding that things are absolutely going to get better, spending some time in hermit mode, allowing yourself to process through everything, and understanding that where you're at right now and where you've been is no indication of where you can go. Current energy for Scorpio. Current energy for Scorpio. I think that the coolest thing, sorry, this came to mind, so I'm going to say this really quick. I think the coolest thing about being a human being and of this life is that at any moment, we can decide who we want to be and make changes to support that person. We can become whoever the hell we want to be in whatever moment. We don't have to stay attached to our past and the person that we have been and the places that we have been. We can literally decide at any moment to make a change. And I feel like that's kind of, we lose sight of that when we're struggling and going through hard times, because we think that they're going to last forever. And sometimes it can feel like it, because it can feel like it's lasting, weeks, months, years. But, when we're able to, again, surrendering to it is going to make it pass a lot faster. That's just the way it goes. If you process your feelings, they're not going to come up, and bite you in the butt and cause, bigger problems in the future. If you're able to process through them as much as you can, you're gonna progress further in your healing. Time heals all wounds if you're doing the healing. If you're just sitting on it and distracting yourself from it and things like that, then it's not gonna heal. And we have to remember that. Current energy for Scorpio, please. Current energy for Scorpio, please. Seven of Cups, Eight of Wands, Magician. So you're confused and overwhelmed because you don't know what's coming towards you. And I feel like, you're supposed to not know. I feel like you're supposed to be in the unknown right now. And if you find yourself like obsessively watching tarot readings or doing readings for yourself or trying to figure out what's going to come, I feel like you're only going to add more confusion to the situation. I feel like you are supposed to not know. Because again, the universe oftentimes will put us in uncertainty and make us face that so that we can build faith and build strength and, build kind of our understanding in the long run. So I feel like and I know this isn't what you want to hear, but I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear for the best possible outcome for yourself. And so that's why I really feel like right now you're kind of supposed to be and feel a little lost. You're not supposed to have all the answers. But understand that period that you're in right now is actually helping you. If you handle it by healing, like focusing on healing instead of, running from it, then it can be very, very beneficial for you in the long run. I know that's not what you want to hear. Please don't get mad at me. Okay, immediate future for Scorpio, clarifying changes with the Four of Pentacles. I feel like I always brace myself for comments on readings like this. Immediate future for Scorpio, clarifying changes with the Four of Pentacles. Immediate future for Scorpio. Please, what does Scorpio need to know regarding their immediate future? If you know me, you know that I do not predict outcomes. In my future readings, I tell you what it is that you need to know to be able to create the best possible outcome for yourself. So that's what we're focusing on in your immediate future. Changes with the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Man, I don't know why, but this totally took a turn for like a hard truth reading. Like Spirit's got some things to say to someone out there. About priorities. Because something that I've had to learn, and I've had to learn the hard way in my life, is that our life will never ever change if we don't make changes. I kind of talked about how we always have the opportunity to become whoever it is we want to be at any moment, right? But we have to actively decide, set the intention, and start to change our movements, choices, and decisions to align with that version of ourselves. We have to become who we are in order to align with the things that we want to attract in the future. We have to become who we want to be in order to ultimately attract that person in that life. And so I feel like this is talking. I feel like you're receiving divine guidance about like reprioritizing your life. I don't know what that means on like a specific level, but I feel like this is about, I don't know if it's trying to reprioritize your health or trying to prioritize, like if you've been stuck kind of like healing from a relationship for a really, really long time, like getting yourself back out there. Like, I don't know what it is, because I feel like this is a general reading and I can't be too specific in a general reading, but I feel like there are changes that absolutely can happen for you, but you have to decide to make those changes. And maybe you're like, I don't know what changes to make. Ask for guidance. Ask the universe for guidance. Be open to receiving it, because there are absolutely things that are needing to happen here so that you can have what it is that you're looking for. In the end, like, all of this is to help you create the best possible life for yourself, right? That's my goal for my readings. Immediate future for Scorpio, clarifying changes with the Four of Pentacles. Surrender to where you're at. I feel like I kind of went back and forth on that, because it's like surrender where you're at, but make changes to be where you want to be. Because that's, if we don't surrender to where we're at, like if we don't accept where we're at, and we're honest with ourselves, and we, are able to say, this is where I'm at, and no, this isn't where I want to be, but this is where I'm at, and we can surrender to that, that's when we can start to adjust. But if we never fully accept where we're at, we'll never adjust moving forward. I hope that kind of makes sense in the way that I'm trying to have it come through. Because that's how we get into the flow of life, is we accept where we're at, but then we prioritize where we want to be. And then we kind of allow the universe to take us there. You know, when we start to make subtle changes, such as, again, like maybe it's prioritizing like fitness, or prioritizing, I don't know, freaking whatever. But prioritizing like the life that you want to live, because that sends signals out to the universe. That's your way of saying, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want to attract. And even the minor changes that we make start to give the universe signs for it to then send our way things that align with those changes that we're making. So if you want to experience changes, we have to be willing to make changes. But in order to make changes, we have to accept where we're at. Immediate future for Scorpio, clarifying changes with the Four of Pentacles. And accepting where we're at without shame. With love and without shame. Because you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're exactly where you're meant to be, where you're supposed to be. So you haven't done anything wrong. Immediate future for Scorpio. Six of Swords. The Star. Okay. Give yourself grace. I feel like that is another thing I have learned and is absolutely coming through in this reading. We cannot shame ourselves into evolving. We can't sit there and say, oh, you suck and you're lazy and you're dumb. And, we can't sit there and shame ourselves into change. We'll never change in a sustainable way, because we're not coming from a place of trying to better ourselves and step into the best version of ourselves. We're coming from a place of trying to not be who we are. And when I talk about accepting where you're at, it's also with understanding that you've been through things. You've been through painful situations, and you deserve to have time to kind of like heal and process through that, and understand, give yourself love to say, yeah, I've made mistakes, but I don't need to look at those mistakes as like I'm never going to be happy or loved. I don't know. I just feel like there's this level of being kind of cruel to yourself in a way. And we can't shame ourselves into like real sustainable change. We can't run from the truth of our actions, right? We can't run from the truth of our actions and create sustainable change, but we also can't shame ourselves into sustainable change. We have to kind of find that balance, and that's coming from a place of love. So for me, I went through a really, really rough time in my life, and during that period, I completely fell off my spiritual journey. I stopped taking care of myself. I stopped prioritizing the life I wanted to live. I fell back into old habits. I fell back into all of the things I was trying to fix in the beginning. And for a long time, I sat in a lot of shame for that. I sat in a lot of shame of, oh, I should have known better. I should have trusted the universe more. I should have done this, or I should have done that, or I should have. And the thing is, I needed to go through that period. That period played a very big role in my life. It taught me a lot about myself. And I feel like, looking back, if I were to be in that period again, I would make different decisions, but I only know that because I went through it. And so I feel like sometimes when, we're healing and we're growing and we're, learning to take accountability for our actions and, things like that, the shame bug can kind of start to pop into your ear and start to try to make you feel like you're, it's all your fault and you're less than and whatever the case is. And so I don't know. I just feel like there's this need to give yourself a little bit more grace as you're healing and as you're starting to make changes. Like, be honest with yourself about the changes you need to make with love. And understand that a lot of our actions are because of our trauma, like where we've been through, what we've been through and things like that. So I don't know. I feel like I've talked a lot about that. It's hard. I always want to couple hard truth coming, like my goal for my readings is to provide the messages of highest truth and compassion with a balance between love and truth. Like I want there to be truth and recognizing, what we need to see, but then also coming from a place of love too. All right, immediate future for Scorpio. Immediate future for Scorpio, please. Your healing is leading to changes, though. You can be sure of that. If you focus on the healing, if you focus on what's going on within, you're going to make changes. That really just popped out, huh? Seven of Wands with the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. this is kind of this energy of needing to like work on and adopt like personal truths. I am capable, I am deserving, like, and I don't mean just affirmations, like, I mean like personal truths, like, you know, those who are able to create their dream life, who are able to manifest into their life what it is that they desire, are the people who first know that they're deserving, capable, lovable, whatever the case is. You have to know those things before you receive the manifestation. You're waiting to feel loved, deserving, or capable when you receive what it is that you desire, when you receive the changes, right? But you have to know that you're loved, capable, and desired, or loved, capable of what it is that you desire. Oh my God, why am I struggling so much? Lovable, capable, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. In order to receive what it is. That's why I feel like you have to accept where you are right now in the healing journey and understand that you're wanting these changes to happen, but you have to feel like you are deserving of them to happen before they're going to happen. That's the biggest thing when it comes to manifestation that people think. People think that the result creates the feeling, but the feeling creates the result. When we feel good about ourselves and we are, you know, in our healed energy and we're choosing that high vibration, that's where we attract the good things. So you're waiting on these changes that are absolutely possible for you. You don't have to doubt that. The changes that you want, the stability that you want, the happiness, the love, all of that is possible for you. But you've got to work on what it is that you need to see about yourself that can help bring those into reality. Like, you know, the saying is, as above, so below, as within, so without. You create it from within first. I feel like this was such a confusing reading, but I really hope that it came through with clarity, because I feel like I was like kind of figuring, I'd pull a card and I'd be like, oh, that relates to this, and I was just kind of jumping back and forth a lot. But I do feel like you're supposed to feel overwhelmed. You're supposed to feel a little bit you know, stuck and maybe a little lost right now. You're healing. And as you heal and you adopt new beliefs such as I am deserving and I am capable and the universe is supporting me, then your life is going to start to change in alignment with those beliefs. You know, when you break down the law of attraction, it's that your thoughts become your beliefs, become your actions, become your reality. What you think about is what you believe is how you act, and how you act is what you create. And so I feel like that's why, like, yes, there are changes that are possible for you, but you've got to prioritize them. But first, figure out, you know, believe you're deserving, believe you're capable, believe that you're good enough, all those things. Okay, we're going to hop on over to the extended, clarify these messages, which I absolutely think is necessary, and then dive into some of the coaching. So this is like the coaching portion of the reading. This is what you need to know, kind of diving into what you need to do in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Thank you so much, Scorpio, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope, obviously, that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Scorpio.